was trying to tell y'all folks, Drake still wants smoke. And now he's done a little tweet and delete. And there's just been so much. And our homies over at the Fantastic Hip Hop channel whipped it all together. So, you know what I'm saying? Go show them some love.
Now, despite Drake having a busy weekend where he dropped off 3 new tracks as part of his 100 gigs collection and then proceeded to add even more footage of him creating some of his most...
Hey, be real. Drake fans, Kendrick fans, I know a lot of people going to be from different communities in this joint right now. How did y'all feel about the last 3 Drake songs? Them 3 Drake leaks. It was No Face, S.O.B., and another one. All those reactions are on the channel. Let's go.
Iconic albums to the 100 Gigs website to make people remember the good old days when he was actually beloved by the near entirety of the hip-hop world. As the videos of Drake had nowhere near the same buzz that the first set of Lost Media did, and the only part of Drake's 3 new songs that really gained any sort of traction were his lyrics that were vaguely alluding to spinning things back on Kendrick Lamar after months of their beef seemingly being over. It seemed like Drake had officially reached a rock bottom in terms of his popularity as an artist and brand, because we have never seen people just care less about what he was doing. But now, as everyone was walking away from all this, Drake has shifted the spotlight back on him and has now got...
That's facts. You know, I think us, especially like in my channel, those of us with these kind of worlds where we're super into hip-hop, I don't think some of us have realized the degradation of his career a little bit since the beef. I don't think a lot of us have realized Drake's went from charting 1, 2, and 3 to 52, 79, 64. I don't think a lot of us have realized the views aren't where they used to be and stuff like that on Drake or Drake records. Of course, somebody like me who's here, I'm here to do hip hop. I don't give a fuck. I don't really care if the views ain't hitting from 1 million views or 2 million. I don't care. But you still remember that this is an industry. It's still a business. And if you think Drake don't care, oh, you got it fucked up.
And the most attention he pretty much has this entire summer after the conclusion of the Kendrick beef, as on his burner Instagram account Plot Twist that has been set up to try and make him look like he has never been better following the Kendrick beef, and that has been alluding to something much greater that will be coming. After non-stop spam of some of the most annoying and most laughable attempts at trying to look deep for weeks, Drake has finally made a successful move with this account that has grabbed people's attention, as by posting a video of former Detroit Pistons basketball player Rasheed Wallace, where he said, "Y'all put it on the front page, back page, middle of the page. We will win game 2. Drake has hinted to the fact that he is going to be dropping more diss tracks aimed at Kendrick very soon.
And that's so hard, because you know Rasheed, you know about them bad boy Pistons. I will say, Drake, all I will say for you, because I'm one of them niggas, the more music this nigga Drake's gonna put out, especially if you get more into your hip-hop rapping bag, and we also make sure you ain't do no weird stuff with nobody, you know what I'm saying? If we make sure that, because I have no proof either way, you know, I'm still going to be rocking with Drake. I'm still going to listen to his music. I'm still going to be reacting to Drake on the channel. What I will say, though, my guy, is if you don't want smoke, if you don't want a round 2 with Kendrick, you should be careful how you keep stoking at the bear. It almost makes me feel like Drake has something in the tuck. It actually does make me feel, because it's like, bro, you sort of just lost this fight. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you whooping nigga ass. He leave, go to the car, come back, and say, do that again. What does that mean? All the black people in here know exactly what I'm talking about. What just happened? You understand so you see where I'm coming from, y'all? All the black folks like, this nigga got a point.
And now to add context to this clip, as Wallace said this after the Pistons lost Game 1 in the second round of the 2004 NBA playoffs against the Indiana Pacers, and the Pistons of course went on to defeat the 1-seeded Pacers 4-2 in the series, and then went on to be one of the most star-studded teams of all time in the finals with the LA Lakers in just 5 games. There is a lot loaded into this Drake Instagram story, and it is revealing to us more about what is up his sleeve than any of his features or new songs have, and considering the state of him...
Do y'all think that this nigga Drake got something in the tuck for Kendrick?
Pop right now, as using Rasheed Wallace, the Pistons, and this clip as a mouthpiece for him, Drake is labeling himself as the underdog right now, as this team of course went on to pull off one of the greatest upsets in all of sports.
And that's deep. It's an LA team too. That's fire.
This century, as
Drake might have
did a Lakers team with Shaquille O'Neal, Kobe Bryant, and multiple other Hall of Famers. And Drake isn't just doing...
Drake need to be careful, because Karl Malone and you... Right now, the joke, I ain't gonna make them jokes because I don't know if you really did that. And I'm a nigga who done fought a lot of criminal charges, never no diddling charges, nothing ever sexual, just more of like drugs, manufacture, deliver, distribute, assault, shit like that, weapons charges, shit like that, right? Allegedly. Well, no, I actually still have those charges on my record, but I've had police say I had stuff on me that I didn't really have. So all I'm saying is, I don't be quick to put something like that on a nigga jacket, because, like I said, I done spent some time in most correctional institutes. You go in there on a diddling charge, they finna, if you know what you know what I'm telling you. What are you talking about?
Is to show the road that may be ahead of him and the odds that are against him. Although, even looking at this logic, I will note that months ago, all of the major players in hip-hop media had Drake as the clear favorite in this beef, despite what listeners thought. But in the greater sense, by picking this clip in this moment, and knowing that the Lakers and Kobe Bryant were defeated, which are of course the team that represents where Kendrick is from, and Kobe is a guy who Kendrick has been compared to time and time again, Drake is trying to line up these two storylines and spread fear by doing this. And now, while Drake is blowing up the rap world once again by letting everyone know that he
what I've learned from this beef is a lot of people are dumb, man. I learned that shit, running shit. And I learned that the power of narrative. And I learned that a lot of people don't think for themselves. You know what I mean? A lot of people just, like, have biases and have things. I'm like, oh, yeah. Motherfuckers be weird. That's what I did learn. You gotta still think, even if I don't agree with you, just don't be the person who lets the internet think for you, bro. I'm from an era where niggas had conversations in the barbershop, niggas have conversations at the lunch table, where niggas have conversations in settings. Bro, there was usually like a heel. There was usually a nigga who we didn't agree with that we was arguing with. If everybody liked Kobe, he liked LeBron. If everybody liked LeBron, he liked Jordan. Nigga, that was our homie. So I'm never gonna be against you having a different opinion of me, but at least let it really be your opinion. You understand what I'm saying?
Releasing music towards Kendrick. Although again, it is important to note that he did say he was on the Hard Part 6 initially. While everyone is speculating on what this can mean for Drake and the entirety of the rap game, we already gotten rumblings from Kendrick Lamar's team about their reaction to this, and the sneak disses Drake threw out on a track like No Face, as despite Drake hyping this moment up, and then people pushing Kendrick to just stomp on Drake again before he can even get out of his own way and seemingly get to this moment that he is hyping up as game 2. A friend of Kendrick, Eurolux, said that after fans were hyping up that if Drake wants this matchup, which as Kendrick alluded to on Not Like Us, that he indeed does have more tracks in stock and will be ready to stomp him. Euro said about this entire situation Kendrick's next move. In response to what Drake said, "Nah, we leaving the Canadian alone. Everybody just working at this moment, so just stay tuned." And now with this, well, based on everything in the Kendrick camp and comments like these, it does seem somewhat vague about what their plans are.
At this point, it's confirmed. I'll confirm it like I was in the studio with these niggas. This Kendrick album will have Drake disses on it then. Drake has forced his hand now. Kendrick can't not, even if he wanted to. Why?
Actually are, as the camp is still alluding to the fact that something is coming very soon. What is clear from this is...
Actually, I'm sure Not Like Us will be on the album. You know what I mean? And he'll get the streams off that. That way they're for sure that the album goes like platinum and shit. Yeah. He'll have Not Like Us.
The Team Kendrick is not going to be running out because of a few sneak disses or an IG story, and get ready for another chapter of all-out lyrical dueling, which on one hand, at this moment they shouldn't, because Kendrick has absolutely nothing to prove, and also, aside from what Kendrick has directly done, Drake has been doing any sort of job that they needed to finish for them.
And that's true. You gotta know also, like, that's what I always say, like, let's just keep relating it to you beat somebody up and then they go to the car. If me and you have a problem and you pull up and we fight and we catch a good fair fight, right? Alright, we cool. You know what I mean? Or even if we're not cool and I don't rock with you, it is what it is. We straight. As long as it's just that fade. I'm not one to whoop your ass now. Every time I see you, I gotta whoop your ass. Now, there's some niggas we had to do like that too, but I don't really like doing that, because what that invites is, one day, nigga, your body's weird, man. Your knee might lock up. Cuz get to beating your ass. Now he get the advantage. Now he remember how you stomped him out the last time. Now you got 2 broken pinkies. Nigga, I ain't trying to have my pinkies broke. So if I win the first time, I won. Just keep it pushing.
Just making himself look worse and worse with every single thing he has done this summer. So now, at this point, what Kendrick is doing just by default is letting Drake control the tempo, because based on his current track record, it somehow gives them better odds of winning, as opposed to even if they decided to do anything, because with all of this motion from Drake
gotta be careful,
which despite cryptically teasing that he isn't done with Kendrick and that a round 2 was coming, as his reputation has plummeted so low, as we all know, from not just watching the quality of his music reach an all-time low, but from also seeing one of the most powerful brands in all of music's chart potential and streaming numbers decrease exponentially as well. If he really is serious about trying to start a round 2 and wants to release more music and diss tracks aimed at Kendrick.
But you also gotta remember, it's like LeBron James isn't as good as he used to be, right? But even so, he's probably like the 4th, 5th best player in the league. Drake was so famous, so successful commercially. Even though he's not number 1 in the game, right? That don't mean he's out of the top 5. He's still gonna be one of the bigger artists. I already know that niggas gonna jump in this motherfucker. Well, but Drake is still getting millions of views on his songs. He's still getting more views than this rapper and this rapper and this rapper. And it's like, yeah, of course, bro, it's Drake. He's still Lucian Grange's literal homeboy. You know what I'm saying? Some say more. Any nigga who was at that Michael Rubin all-white party, I'm sure gave up some butt. Everybody in that motherfucker, boy. I ain't gonna lie. That shit made me sort of be like, see, this is why niggas like Kendrick and Cole is needed. They ain't giving up no ass.
Kendrick is going to be calling his bluff and giving him the lane to do this. But now, as the idea of a round 2 is gaining more and more steam because Drake is getting louder and louder about it, as we are somewhat entering uncharted territory for Drake, as he is going to be calling out Kendrick Lamar again in full force. You have to sit here and question if Drake realizes the full risk of doubling down on a beef that went just about as bad as it could have for him. Because first off, by doing this, Drake is going to split his brand fully away from being the one-of-a-kind hitmaker and gigantic musical force that can pump out massive moments at such a quick rate like few others ever have been able to, and he is going to be shifting it into becoming the guy who can't get over the fact that he lost to another artist, which in of itself is only going to make him seem bitter and insecure about his own self just because of how vocal he is about doing this, which then in turn, and this is why
we do live in an era where the world's moving so quick, right? And so it's the reason why I think a player like Allen Iverson, and just, you'll get the analogy, still gets his regard, is because we didn't see him really suck. We only seen Allen Iverson be great, and then he retired. Jordan, we seen him be great, retire, come back, still be pretty damn good, and then retired, never got bad. Vince Carter, we seen Vince Carter be pretty bad, and that's why we don't hold him to the same regard. You're usually just as good as your last match. So Undertaker, sometimes you gotta just leave your gloves in that ring, you know what I mean?
I really don't think that Drake is thinking all this through. Will only help Kendrick's agendas against him become stronger, because no matter how Drake responds, he will indirectly build on what Kendrick left off on, which will then only make general audiences remember Drake for all of his weird actions, which made what was thrown out against him stick in the first place even more. And now when...
Because what could you possibly... This is that music industry shit as weird. What could a nigga this age possibly be doing being friends with a child? I guess maybe giving her acting lessons? And I'm like, boy, that's a stretch, but it's just like... And the thing about it, though, I'll tell y'all niggas, and this is not Cape, they're probably not actually friends. They probably don't know each other. Drake is such a big brand, they probably pay these niggas at Lucian Grange $25,000 to take a pic and say that with their friends. I don't think Ice Spice is friends with him. I don't think Sexy Reds is friends with him. It's just like, have you ever noticed these people who start getting these giant, I'm talking fast, like these niggas finna come get me, but they start getting these giant commercial pushes. Oh, now I'm with Drake. Now I'm on Theo Von podcast. Nigga, come on, you can't piss on my head and tell me it's raining. So, if Drake just came out and be like, nigga, I had never met this little girl in my life, I would believe it. No, I wouldn't, but still, I still feel like there's a lot of cap to it. That's how I feel about the relationships. Some of them be real, but a lot of them be bullshit. Just that industry shit.
Weird actions, which made what was thrown out against him stick in the first place even more. And now when you look at all this from this angle, it really seems like something so reckless for the future and longevity of Drake's career and for the dignity of his legacy that it almost reminds you of the foolishness that forever ruined somebody like Ja Rule's reputation following when 50 Cent humiliated him. And now because of all of this, with the stakes never being higher for Drake.
Y'all niggas forget when Ja Rule started doing the push-ups in the clapback video? This is Drake's clap. I also think after Headlines, Drake just and not even Headlines, it was really 2016 when he grew that beard out. Drake started to think he was Tupac.
What the tallest order out of this round 2 will be is that because of the hole he has dug himself in, he needs to now accomplish more than just a regular all-time great diss track ever does. Because in order to shift the narratives that have been spun onto him away and make Kendrick look awful, on top of making a record that has all of the prerequisites for a diss track in terms of its top-tier lyricism, it's also going to have to respond now to Not Like Us, which will then also require it to have an infectious instrumental that will allow for mass consumption and repeat listens. And
in layman's terms, nigga, it's gonna need to be a hit.
Now, on top of all of this and making this equation all the more harder, Drake is gonna have to now somehow dig up dirt and reveal information about Kendrick that is about as lethal and head-turning as what Pusha T told us about him on the story of Adidon. And now, with this all being the bar that is required for Drake not just to make a great song, but for him not to humiliate himself by coming back around for round 2, as he is going to have to make a hit song that is loaded with information that can actually damage the person he is targeting more than just lies could or by calling him short, just to even get any sort of legitimate respect or momentum back. Drake has a near impossible task to accomplish, and as we have already seen his performance in round 1 of the beef, it's hard to believe that this time around things would be any different, but as Drake has had months to move around and think about new angles to approach Kendrick with, despite everything else we have seen from him, which has shown that he has never been worse as an artist and a rapper. Maybe he does have something in store that can actually help him from not being the biggest failure in music, but it does not seem likely. And by Drake doing all this seems like a way for him that while may give him attention and excitement that has been missing from his name with every single thing he has done during this time following the beef. Overall, it is only going to burn out the rest of his career faster than ever, and if all of this goes even half as wrong as the first round of this beef went with Kendrick, I know it sounds crazy to say with the train wreck we have already seen, but Drake would really be pushing his career into a corner that would not just make him seem like one of the biggest sore losers there has ever been, but it will ruin not just the present, but the past.
Boy, I was hearing Not Like Us in my head. I was like, this is a chance.
And future.
Drake, don't do it, bro. You're not fucking with that song. You know a song is good when you start just rocking to the thought of it. Nigga, I was, they Not Like Us.
His career, as by never being able to escape this one moment, he is going to recontextualize his entire image in the cultural zeitgeist. And as a result, is going to stain his image within a light that only somebody like Ja Rule could ever even come close to. And the fact that this is the conversation we are having already says enough about where this is all headed.
And you know who did it to Ja Rule? 50 Cent. And you know what label is behind him? Shady Aftermath. And you know who owns Shady Aftermath? Interscope. And you know who?
So now with all this said, let me know. What do you think of Drake getting ready for round 2 with Kendrick? And how do you think this is all going to go? I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you want to see how Drake's new track, No Face, addressed Kendrick Lamar and is teasing what may come in this upcoming diss track, check out the suggested video.
Yeah, that was a certified vibe check. Here comes another reaction. Damn, Kendrick looked like a goat here, but literally. Here comes another reaction right here. Music video right there. Pal, click on the show some love. You watch the videos, so you didn't hit the thumbs up button. You're a host. Stop being a hoe, okay? But if you love y'all, salute. I'm out of there.